Ahead on American Sunrise, former Prince Andrew under arrest and now back out of jail, sending shockwaves through the UK and beyond. So what we're learning now about the allegations, the investigation, and the powerful response from Virginia Giuffre's family is ahead. Plus, authorities searching for missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie are now turning to genetic genealogy after DNA evidence failed to match anyone in the FBI's national database. So could it bring a needed breakthrough? We'll have expert analysis. And later, faith in the music business. The new movie, I Can Only Imagine 2, hits theaters today with the powerful message of faith. How will it be received? We'll have those stories and so much more right now on this first hour of American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Happy Freedom Friday, everybody. Happy Puppy Friday. Colby's waiting for his cameo right next to me. I'm Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C., and Terrence Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, guys. I don't know about you, but ready for a weekend.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I was ready on Monday, Dr. Gina, and I wasn't even here. I was off on Monday, and I was already ready for the weekend. Hey, look, so I was thinking about you overnight, Dr. Gina, because you have really encouraged all of us to continue the pressure to get answers and to get accountability when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein case. And, of course, yesterday we saw the arrest of Prince Andrew, investigations into Jeffrey Epstein, and those who witnessed or even supported his dirty deeds now expanding specifically in New Mexico. The latest release and review of the DOJ's Epstein files has New Mexico's Attorney General reopening the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch, which is located there in New Mexico. The New Mexico Department of Justice saying that special agents and prosecutors will seek immediate access to unredacted federal case files, and they intend to work with the state's newly minted Truth Commission in order to find out who visited the ranch and who may have committed crimes there. The big question here, Dr. Gina, do you see this as being a step towards prosecutions that may not necessarily happen on the federal level, but very well could be initiated on a state level? It seems to me, at least on its face, that this is a good first step. Your thoughts?
A good first step. I'm really glad to see, as I said, other governments addressing this, other prosecutions happening around the world, leaders stepping down, CEOs stepping aside. I'm glad to see this because there should be a lot of shame in anyone who participated in hurting children in any way, shape, or form. And the thing that gives me hope about this, a lot of people say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen to the people involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And they may be right. By and large, they may be right. A lot of people will go unpunished. Here's what my real prayer is, Terrence and David. It's that we can boil this down to the point where we can figure out where the sex slave trading is happening today and remove the children who are currently involved either in ritualistic sex slavery through satanic churches and cults and other things, and or this massive prostitution ring, this massive illegal alien sex slave ring of those children, that kind of thing. That's what I'm really hoping happens. People say, well, we don't want to concentrate on the past. This isn't the past. This is happening today in a larger scale than ever before. People forget that, David.
Yeah, look, here's the thing on this ranch, first of all. Where was this a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? That's my concern about that. Yeah, it's great that it's happening now, but, you know, time is of the essence, and time has run out, and now they're trying to kind of kindle this, if you will. So I'm concerned about that in terms of where this is all going to go. Yeah. Having said that, if we're waiting for politicians, and especially this DOJ or any DOJ for that matter, to perp walk some of these folks, don't hold your breath. To me, the answer is not in government or politicians or the elitist class, any of that type of stuff. The answer is going to be in investigative journalism. It's going to be in we saw Nick Sorter with the Somali situation in Minnesota. We're going to need someone to break through the clutter to get these you-know-whats off their you-know-whats to make sure something gets done. That's what has to happen here, guys.
Yes, absolutely. You meant Nick Shirley, by the way. Nick Sorter's great.
I'm sorry.
Nick Shirley.
I get all the Nicks confused.
Yeah, all those Nicks.
Nick Shirley.
But just one final point on this, and that is for the people who, for the situations that are, like I said, in the past, we need to realize this is absolutely happening now. That's the myth that I think needs to be dispelled. This isn't just something that happened 15 years ago. This is happening now. All right, today's Bible verse is from Colossians chapter 1, verse 27. To them, God willed to make known what are the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. All right, turning to more fallout and reaction flowing from the arrest of former Prince Andrew in the UK, who has been released. The family of the late Virginia Giuffre, a woman who had accused Andrew of abuse years earlier, though he denied it and settled his civil case. Anyway, a statement has been issued after the ex-prince's arrest, saying, quote, Our broken hearts have been lifted. That's from the family of Virginia Giuffre. They went on to thank the UK authorities for this, and they said that the news shows that no one is above the law, not even royalty, and called it a moment of relief for survivors everywhere. Her family added that Virginia did this for other survivors. You'll remember that Virginia was the woman who did make the accusations and said, I am not suicidal. If anything happens to me, they did it. And then she was unalived, as they like to say out there in social media land. All right, let's bring in GOP strategist and the host of the 13-minute news hour, Bobby Everly. Bobby, here's the thing. There are 2 points. There are 2 ways to look at this. As a parent, I think we discussed that already. We want people to pay. We want the sex rings that are taking place today, the children that are being kidnapped and put into sex slavery and torture and ritualistic abuse. We want all of that ended. I think the Satanic Church needs to be investigated. But Bobby, there's the other side of this, and that is that, for me, this is the Republicans to win. Donald Trump has been the most transparent president ever in history. And so build on that, and let's put in place policy that ensures this will never happen again. Rather than say, okay, we did that, let's move on. Let's put in place policy and make this a major cornerstone win that can be looked to as case law for what can happen all over the world, Bobby. Why not do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks this morning. Good morning, everybody, for having me here. There's so much to dive into. And let's go back to the 2024 election. One of the, in addition to the economy and border security, there's this sentiment of getting rid of the deep state, getting rid of the establishment, getting rid of the powerful versus the people, the rest of us, two-tier justice system. The Epstein files, the Epstein case represents all of that. It is a signature case that we can push forward. And I think a lot of the base was a little bit frustrated, stunned, disheartened when we were criticized for pushing this. I mean, we need justice for these victims. We need to dismantle the structure that keeps feeding this industry. Like you said, Dr. Gino, this is our moment, not only to get justice for the victims of Epstein, but there are victims out there today that we need to push forward. I'm glad what's coming down on Prince Andrew, but part of me thinks feels like it's kind of a Al Capone case. He kills all these people and does these mafia tactics, and then they get him for tax evasion. This is him trading secrets as the British envoy, the trade envoy, and yet there's girls out there that were abused over and over again. We need justice for them. We need to name names. We need those perp walks here in the United States. I don't care who they are. Democrat, Republican, independent, business, entertainment, you name it, they all deserve to be in jail.
Yeah, let's go Pam Bondi. Let's go DOJ. And listen, Merrick Garland and the Biden DOJ, we knew they weren't going to do anything. Pam Bondi, we expect more. We want to get it done. Let's go. All right, let's talk about some new information this morning about what President Trump put on Truth Social. He is telling the Department of War to release The UFO files, he wants them declassified, Bobby. Look, I think 5 years ago, 10 years ago, ha ha, chuckle, chuckle, isn't this funny? No, this has gone mainstream now. I mean, you got 2/3 of Americans who believe there is some sort of life, intelligent life, somewhere out there other than the United States, other than the world here. Now, in terms of aliens visiting here, I think 1/3 of Americans think aliens have actually visited the United States. What do you make of this? And of course, this is all because Barack Obama said the other day that he thinks aliens are real, though he doesn't say they're at Area 51. Your take.
Right. Oh man, when he said that, and then Trump's follow-up, he didn't confirm or deny anything, but he said,
right.
Obama shouldn't be talking about classified information. So this is coming from, a PhD in aerospace engineering. This is my love, my passion, and I've followed this, forever. And what you said was absolutely right. Just think back, like last year, over the last 2 years, Senate and House hearings, bringing in experts, talking about the fact that there are just non-human entities that are out there that we've discovered, we've analyzed. They've said this publicly, and who knows what they said privately. So the more information we can find out about this, the better. I don't think society is going to collapse or do anything like that. But let's analyze it and let's look at it for what it is, which is a great story and not a diversion or distraction from Epstein or anything else. But I'd love to know more, and I think the American people would too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to follow you down this rabbit hole, but I am. I can't help myself,
Let's do it.
Bobby. I
Let's
really
go.
can't. So I'm similar to you. I can't wait to see these files. But what's your expectation? Is there going to be so much redaction and so little information to come out that we really don't glean much? Is this going to be another Epstein? And I hate to compare the two, but it's the most recent kind of massive information dump that we've gotten. Is this going to be another initial Epstein files kind of thing where you expect a whole lot and get very little?
Oh, I have a feeling, the pages that'll come out will be more black than white, and that's unfortunate. And we've got to keep our eye on the ball on what all of this means. If we have encounters with alien life, outside the planet, what did we learn from that? What propulsion technology, materials technology, all of this stuff is what's really important and what can change the world. I mean, if you've got propulsion systems that these alien craft are using that could, end our energy crisis in a minute, then we need that information out there. And maybe that's why this has been withheld so much, because that could disrupt the world order. When you have energy that anyone can have, then you have freedom that anyone can have. And that's disruptive to a lot of people in power.
Bobby Eberle, it's going to be interesting. You wake up every day to the headlines you never expected to see under Trump.
Exactly.
Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
All right, coming up, how are people across the pond reacting to the arrest of former Prince Andrew? We're going to find out about that. Also later, New York City's new mayor, what is Mamdani planning on doing about the homeless crisis? We're going to find out. We have those details ahead on American Sunrise.